Hello everyone and welcome back to this channel. So today I'm going to be showing you my May Plan with May bullet journal setup. I know it's already May, so I know I'm late already, but you know what? Let's just dive right into it and let's do some bullet journaling. As you can tell, my theme for this month is Hades. So I already did my cover page in the last couple of days. I did my art cover page and my quote cover page that is, a little dark, a little gloomy, and as always, hey, full of dead people. It's definitely one of my favorite quotes from Hades from the entire movie of Hercules. So yeah, and as for the cover page itself, I used a little flame as the A. As you can see, my bullet journal does not have the best thickness in this world, so everything kind of goes through whenever I use markers. But don't worry, we're gonna fix this. We're actually gonna be using some black paper for the monthly setup, and that's where we're gonna use this little black block that I have. It's just black paper, and it's almost the perfect size for my bullet journal. So I just take one page, I glue it down, and after I'm done gluing that down, I just cut off the excess, and as you can tell, I messed up. So here's me just trying to fix my mistake. And yeah, that's basically what I do. After I'm done with taping it down to the bullet journal, I'm just gonna cut off the excess with an X-Acto knife or scissors, whatever you have at home. And then I found this magazine advertisements in my old magazines that were blue, so I thought, you know what, they're perfect. I was gonna go for like the rip-off effect, but actually I decided to go with like straight triangles to like give a little bit of color and a little bit of accent to this page. As for my lettering, this is just me writing May after making a lot of tries before this one. And I'm just gonna take a darker shade of blue and I'm just gonna go over it. This is me showing you guys how to do a little bit of an ombre effect. You just take a darker shade of the same color or a different color if you think it works better, and you just go over it. And after you're done pretty much setting up the darker color on top of your first layer, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your first color and then you're gonna kind of drag it down. So yeah, that's basically how you achieve these ombre effect. Also, what you can do is, if you have the Tombow brush sets, they usually come with like a clear pen that you can use to make watercolor effects or this kind of shaded effects and ombre effects. I just like to use my previous color, and then you're gonna have this really nice effect that it kind of simulates Hades' flame, his hair. Then I'm just gonna go with my fine liner and I'm just gonna outline everything on my title. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I use another piece of paper just to like avoid smudging on my title. I just don't like it when either my hand takes some of the ink and then just drags it along the rest of my title. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do right now. And after that, I'm just gonna take a nice shade of gray and I'm just gonna do a little bit of a drop shadow, just to make that kind of 3D-ish effect for my title. After I'm done, I'm just gonna cut it down with a pair of scissors or an X-Acto knife, whatever you have at home will work. And yeah, I was just kind of like experimenting with the triangles that I had set up for the corners and the title that I actually made. Then yeah, you just gotta play around sometimes, try to figure out where you want your triangles to be, your setup, before you glue everything down. Especially because this is a black paper, and with black paper, whenever you tape something on it and you take it out, it might damage the paper a little bit. So yeah, just try to set it up, try to imagine what it looks like, picturing it, and then whenever you're ready, whenever you decide that you really like it, go ahead and tape everything down. Then I just sketched this calendar with my pencil, and I just went over it with my white Jelly Roll pen. As you can see right here, I made a mistake. I made one of the columns quite long, but it's okay, it's just a teeny tiny mistake. It doesn't show that much. So yeah, playing with black paper is really fun. I really like it. This is not the first spread that I had done with black paper. They're really fun. It takes a little bit more time because you have to give a lot of white accents, or you have to draw a lot of stuff on another piece of paper, then cut it out and then tape it down. So it might take a little bit more time, but trust me, it's so worth it. It just looks so aesthetically pleasing for me. I really like it. Yeah, and here I'm just drawing the days of the week. I decided to put them underneath the entire calendar instead of on top because Hades is the death. He is the lord of the underworld, and I just decided underworld, like why shouldn't the days go under? So this is kind of, yeah, it's the little things that you do for your own bullet journal that make them special for you. And yeah, I just took a black Sharpie, a silver Sharpie, and I started doodling the numbers on my calendar. As you can see, I have a scrap of the black paper that I used in another spread before, and I'm just practicing on it. I try to make like really square and really straight line number-ish. I don't know if it's explanatory, but you're seeing it right on the screen. So this is trying to imitate those Greek designs that they have on Hercules. And also, while I was doing this spread, I was watching Hercules because I find it really helpful to be watching the movie that I'm based on while I'm doing my spread. So yeah, that gives me a lot of inspiration at the moment. And here I made a mistake. I realized that I didn't wrote 31 spaces, so I just did another piece, and there we go, I fixed it. Yeah, so you just gotta go on it, doodle a little bit, just give those little details that make them special for yourself. I think that is the most fun part about having a bullet journal. You can do pretty much whatever you want. And since right now I don't have a printer at home, I kind of have to doodle everything either on a piece of paper or rightly on the bullet journal. And I decided that the calendar was looking quite empty, just like quite simple with this. So I was looking for a lot of inspiration, and I decided to draw the little potion bottle that Pain and Panic give to Hercules when he's a baby to make him immortal. I just sketched it out, and after selecting the wrong shades of Crayola tips, there we go, we got the perfect ones. Yeah, you know what, I just started drawing, filling it up. I think it's a really easy draw to do. It's really square, so you can pretty much do it with a ruler, and I think it looks really nice. It came out better than I expected. But yeah, that is basically what I'm doing right now. I like to clean the tip of my Crayola Super Tips, especially because sometimes, some black or some pencil might be left on it. If you just clean it out, just roll it a little bit on a white piece of paper and you're going to see the change. There goes a little tip for you. So yeah, that is pretty much what I'm doing right now. If you guys are wondering, yes, my entire bullet journal is Disney themed. If you guys want it, I can do a flip through of what the themes I have been doing so far, what I've been doing, for January all the way to, now May. I always try to select either a different theme or a different scheme of colors, and then base the movies out of those scheme colors. I don't know. This is just one character that is Hades overall. But yeah, it's a pretty fun way to have a bullet journal with something that you really want, something that you really like. For me, that's Disney. Hercules is definitely one of my favorite Disney movies. I really like the song Go to Distance. If you guys have not watched Hercules for any reason, I would highly suggest to do it because it's really good. The music, it's beautiful. Go to Distance has the superpower to make me cry every single time I listen to it. So yeah, go ahead, go watch it. It's a really good movie. It's amazing. I love it. And yeah, so after I was done with the little bottle, I just started doing some little flames to put as a another decoration on the black calendar, because as I'm telling you, it's really hard to handle black paper if it's not white or if it's not like something that will pop out. For example, I cannot just immediately draw blue on top of the black because it's just not going to show. I got to do it on the side and then just cut it out and tape it. For the blur effect that I did on the flames, I just took that one clear Tombow brush that I was telling you guys. It comes in the dual Tombow brush sets whenever you buy the sets. That one is for doing watercoloring, but I really like it for doing those kind of blurry-ish, I guess, kind of watercolory effects. Then I just took my jelly roll, again, my white jelly roll pen, and started doing some more just little details to make everything pop in the calendar. And I really don't like it when my calendars look plain. I like it when they have a lot of little doodles or details that make them stand out a little bit. I just went back to the May title and I just started doing it, not all over again, but just like going over it with some more details. And then I was like, you know what, let's just do some flames and let's just drop some flames, because we're in Hades' world and it's the underworld, and yeah, those are the little details that I'm adding right now. As for the next couple spreads, I know a lot of people do habit trackers, and I used to in like my first bullet journal, but I stopped doing it because I was so terrible. I'm so bad at following mood trackers and habit trackers, so I just like stopped doing the trackers entirely. But this year I decided to switch it up, and for every month I have a playlist spread. So what I do is basically I just write playlist, I leave the entire page blank, or maybe I will decorate it with some little doodles of the month. You're gonna see that in this spread I do a watercolor effect that I'm also gonna explain later. And yeah, that's what I like to do. I like to go back and see what were like my most listened to songs during the month. What was I listening throughout the month? In this, I am just going over the same effect that I have done throughout the entire monthly setup. The watercolor effect, the ombre effect with the shades of blue. And I'm going also with the drop shadow in gray. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. Cutting it out, taping it down to the page. And what I'm going to show you guys next is how to do a watercolor effect with, not watercolors, but with actual markers. Kind of like the Crayola Super Tips or the Tombow Dual Brush brushes, markers. It's really simple. I'm just gonna show you in a couple of seconds. You're just gonna take a piece of plastic, basically any plastic that you have. I just use a Ziploc bag. But first I'm just gonna give a little bit of an accent to this. I just take another scrap of black that I had as a leftover, marking and cutting it down, taping it down. And on top of that, I'm just gonna tape the playlist. Whenever I do kind of an accent color, in this case black, I like to repeat it throughout the setup, if it's not just at least for the playlist. So there we go, playlist is almost done. We're only missing the watercolor effect because I don't really have doodles to put in, but I really wanted to do this watercolor effect on the entire page. So you're just gonna take a piece of plastic. I just use a Ziploc bag. You're gonna just scribble on it with your marker, whatever color you wanna select. You're just gonna spray water on it. The more water that you spray, the more watery that your watercolor is gonna be, the more fluid. And then you're just gonna flip it and put it on your page. And yeah, that's basically how you do it. As you can see, I just take the leftovers, and with the same Ziploc bag, I just like kind of drag it throughout the spaces that I'm missing. And since a little bit of it went on to the next page, that is another quote page, I just took this craft paper from a burgers that we ordered earlier in the day. And yeah, just taping it down. And we're going to select another quote from Hades to write on this. I really like to put quotings. I don't know, I just really like it. The one that I selected was name's Hades, Lord of the Underworld, Lord of the Dead, actually. Name's Hades, Lord of the Dead. Hey, how you doing? I really like it because Hades' personality is just so, like he doesn't care. He's just like, hey, how you doing? I'm your enemy, but it's fine. And yeah, same thing. I just sketched it out with my pencil. I'm going over it with my fine liner, and then yeah, there we go. I selected my Sakura brush pen to go on the Lord of the Dead. I really like the effect that it was given. As you can see, the handwriting that I'm using is like really square, except for the last part, but it's like really, I was trying to mimic like Greek-ish lettering, kind of like the ones that they use in the Hercules titles. But yeah, and then I actually used some lettering, the hi, how you doing? And I just went over it, colored, same idea than the rest of it, blue and darker blue with Ombre Effect, because that was basically the idea throughout the entire setup. And as you can tell, the Ombre Effect can go both ways. It can go from top to bottom or from bottom up. On the playlist, I went from the darker blue to the lightest blue, and then here I'm doing it on the opposite way. So first I did the lighter blue, the base one, and then the darker blue, I put it from the bottom and I just went upwards. That is another effect, and you can select whatever you need, whatever you want. Then you know what? A little nice drop shadow. It's always there, it never leaves. And then I just started to give a little bit of accent to the hi, how you doing, with the same blue that I used for the Hades name. So yeah, I'm just cleaning my tip. We need a clean tip in this. And after this, we are finally going to our first weekly setup. Now that I'm reviewing this, I'm honestly not the most proud of this weekly setup. It's not my favorite. I'll try to do a better one next time, but honestly, I was just kind of exhausted to do this. And what I did is I kind of followed the same-ish lettering that I was doing before, the square Greeky one, and I just wrote the days of the week, and I went over them with my fine liner. I cut them out, and then I took some Post-its that I have that are made kind of like with craft paper, cut them in the shape of, not exactly a circle, but like kind of round, to give that rip effect. And yeah, that was basically all I did. It's not that, I guess, I don't know if it's that creative. I have done this kind of spreads in the past, but I liked them better before. I just didn't like the way it turned out right now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But yeah, that's basically all I did for my setup. If you guys are wondering, this entire process took me about 3 hours. So just take that into consideration if you are doing bullet journaling. Obviously, it depends from different people, how fast you are, how comfortable you are with your tools, and how much do you feel that you can control your own speed, because I honestly get so distracted while I am doing my bullet journal. I just put my laptop to the side and I just start watching a show or a movie or something, and I get so distracted, so it takes me longer and longer to do it. But yeah, if you guys want to recreate this, just make sure to tag me on your Instagram. I really would love to see if any of you recreate any of the setups that I did. Oh, there goes a craft paper. That's what I told you guys. And if you're new to bullet journaling, well, welcome to this community. It's amazing. It's incredibly creative. It's really fun. For me especially, it helps me stress a little bit less. Just like it helps me take all that stress out. If you're wondering right now that we're in quarantine and I just have 2 classes at uni and I'm not doing a lot, since I'm not filling up the pages as fast as I would love to, what I do is I just use it kind of as a diary. Sometimes I just write down lyrics that I like from songs that I like, quotes from Disney movies, or just like any movie in general that I like. So you can do pretty much whatever you want. You can doodle on it, you can draw, you can paint on it. It's just a gigantic brain dump for yourself, a bullet journal, which makes it really personal. So that is something that I really like about this format of journaling. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this month. Just as soon as we're ready, we're gonna go through a final flip through. I just took my white jelly roll pen once again, and I just started writing the days, like the actual days, the numbers, and I was just giving it some little doodles and little accents, you know, just so it wouldn't look so plain. I still don't love the way the spread came out, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta roll with it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about it. Let's go. Final flip through. Here's my cover page. And there we go. There is our monthly spread. Beautiful. There we go. Playlist, space, another quoting. And finally, we have our first weekly setup with a lot of markers. Thank you guys. See you next time. Bye. Keep spreading the magic.